What do we need to do before we create a course?
Welcome to For Your Success with Katie Hornor, an inspiring program about overcoming the I'm too small mindset, redefining success, and growing your lifestyle business legacy without fear.
Hey there, how is everyone tonight? This is Katie with Blogging Successfully, and we are going to be talking about things you need to do before you create a course. One of our master classes that's coming up is all about creating a course and helping you get all of that set and ready in just one day. I wanted to kind of get you all thinking ahead of time, what do we need to do prior to creating that course in order to get ready to make it more successful, so that those of you who do take that masterclass are going to be all set and in even better stead when it's time to take that course and get your course created. So what do we need to do before we create a course? All right, so obviously we need to have an idea in our head of what the course is going to be about. What am I going to teach? If I want to teach something, what am I going to teach? And a lot of times those ideas are going to come from your people. They're going to come from questions in an email. They're going to come from questions in a Facebook group, maybe your own group, or maybe another one that you participate in. And you're seeing that people are asking these questions and you're like, oh, I could teach that. And that's where the ideas are going to come to create a course. All right. So when you're doing this and you kind of hone in on the main thing and you say, well, I'm qualified, I could teach that. Or maybe you say, I'm not qualified, I don't know if I can teach that. How do we find out? All you have to know to teach a course is just a little bit more than the people that you're teaching. Same thing with homeschooling. You know, I don't have to know it all. I just have to know more than my students in order to be helpful to them. And so anytime you're offering information, it's going to be valuable because the people that you're offering to don't have that information yet. All right? So don't ever feel intimidated because you're not an expert or don't have a degree in the topic that you want to teach. As long as you are knowledgeable, as long as you have experience, as long as you can offer them valuable information, it is perfectly fine for you to create a course on that. And so before you create your course, I would encourage you to talk to 5 or more people about the course content. Okay, find your ideal customer, hone in on that person. How old are they? What is their life like? And as it relates to the topic of the course, then, what are the specific problems that they're facing? And you may think that you know, and you may think that you understand the problems that they're facing or the questions that they're looking for answers to, but when you actually talk to them and you can have that conversation, then you get an even deeper feel of where to go with that, okay? How deep to go or how much you would need to cover in order to be helpful. And you can also find out the language that they're using to express their problems so that you're sure that you're going to be able to clearly communicate the answers when you do that class and when you create the sales page for your course, okay? So I would encourage you to talk to 5 people at least in your target audience for that course and find out from them what are their problems. What is it that they're struggling with in regards to that topic? What do they already know? And what do they want to know? And where is it that they want to be? Because one of the things that you want to be able to identify beforehand, hi Betsy, one of the things you want to be able to identify beforehand is the motivation. Why would they want to take your course? You're going to have to be able to explain that. What is it about your course that's going to make them put their dollar down and say, I need that, okay? And so you need to be able to understand where they're coming from and maybe even their language so you can speak that language back to them and be able to say, this is the motivation, this is the why that you need what I have to offer. All right, their specific problems. What specific questions do they have that they need answered? And then their background and their experience. You know, are you creating a homeschool course for moms who have been in the teacher industry for years and now they're homeschooling their own kids and it's like total clash of everything that they've ever heard? Or are you homeschooling moms who only have a high school education? Okay, so the difference in their backgrounds for your ideal client is also going to make a difference in how you prepare your content for the course that you're going to teach. All right, are you teaching technical things to somebody who's never worked on a computer before? Like, is your course going to teach WordPress to someone who's never opened a computer before? Or are you going to teach WordPress to someone who has taken some computer classes in their technical college and at least knows how to turn the thing on and work around the internet? You have to know some of that background about that client before you can know where to start and how specific and how detailed and how deep you need to go with the content that you want to teach. And also, obviously to answer their problems. If you're explaining your course in terms that's way over their head, they don't even know that they need it because they don't understand what that is yet. So you need to see at what level these people are on in order to be able to offer a course that's going to be helpful to them. All right. So who are your students? Talk to them. What is their motivation? What is the problem that you need to solve with this course? What is their background? What knowledge are they already bringing to this course that you can then build from? Or how simple do you need to make it for them to be helpful but not overwhelming? Okay? And then the next big thing is to know what you want them to do. What is the outcome of this course? What is the one thing or the three things that your student is going to be able to do, that you're going to expect them to have the ability and the knowledge and the expertise to be able to do at the end of this course? What's the result? What's the end result of the course? All right, you need to be able to articulate that for yourself and also for the students, for the sales page. What is it that they're going to be able to do at the end of the course? So, for instance, for the business branding masterclass that's coming up, at the end of that course, the student is going to have a cohesive brand image across all of their social media platforms. They're going to have their profile picture is going to be the same and identifiable across all their platforms. They're going to have cohesive branded images for all of their cover images. We're going to show them how to create them, and we're going to show them how to get them up there so that their image is the same no matter where people find them online. Okay? And then we're also going to show them how to find, how to create templates so that their images can continue to be consistently branded as they go forward with very little effort. All right, so those are specific outcomes of the masterclass that we're going to be teaching this weekend, just as an example for you. What specific outcome can people expect from taking your course? That's something that's going to be vital both in planning your content as well as in the marketing of the course. All right. And then third, how are you going to measure the success? Okay, you have these outcomes, but how are you going to measure it? It needs to be, remember when we're talking about any kind of goals, they need to be specific and they need to be measurable. So in our case, we're going to be able to go and look at their social media at the Business Branding Masterclass, and we're going to be able to see that they've done what we said they would learn to do. Okay, so that's going to be the measure for ours. For your course, what is it that you're teaching, and then what is going to be the measurable way to judge the success of that class? How are they going to walk away from your class and say, this was a success, I did this as a result? Okay, so it goes a little bit hand in hand with the second one as far as what is the end result going to be. But how is that going to be measured specifically? You need to be able to state that in a way that both you and your prospective student are going to be able to understand, and in a way that's going to be appealing to them. Okay? And then the fourth thing that you need to do before you create a course, we talked about knowing your students, knowing what their problem and motivation is for the class. We talked about knowing what your outcome is going to be, what's the end result, the purpose that you're teaching this class, what are they going to do when they finish. The third is, how are they going to measure that? How are you going to prove, or what's the proof going to be, or is there an exam, or what are they going to show at the end to prove that they were successful? And then the fourth thing is, what format is your class going to take? Okay, so this is something, again, that you need to try to decide ahead of time before you're actually in the content creation mode. You need to know ahead of time what kind of format is your course going to have. Is it going to be a drip email thing where they get a new email lesson every day that's something that they read? Is it going to be like an Audible thing where they have a new thing to listen to every day? Is it going to be a video? Is it going to be 6 sessions? Is it going to be 2 weeks? Are you going to meet once a week in a live video setting? Are you going to have a Facebook group, or is there going to be follow-up? Are they going to get materials that they're going to download, or is it all just going to be what you give them in the class? So the format is going to be very important as well in your planning stage, because you're going to need to know then what do I need to do to get the tech in place to be able to deliver this class in a professional and successful way. Okay? So is it going to be audio, video, live, pre-recorded, written? Are there going to be materials that they're going to need? Is there a book that they need to buy or read ahead of time? Is there any, kind of pre-assignment that they need to have in order to lay the foundation for what I'm going to teach? Which goes back again to number one, knowing your student and knowing where they are and what experience they're bringing to the class, okay? So, is there going to be any kind of review or follow-up? Are you going to have them turn things into you that then you need to look at and check and review and give feedback on? Are you going to do any kind of hot seats with them where you're reviewing things? Or are they going to have email access to you for how long? All of those things are things that people are going to want to know from the get-go before they take this course, so that they can make a good decision on whether or not that is something for them, okay? You're also thinking about, when you're thinking again about number one, about your ideal client, and you're thinking about number four, with what format am I going to take, you need to think about their lifestyle. Is this someone who gets up and spends an hour listening to podcasts every day as they're doing their exercise before work? Or is it a mom who only has time to watch a short video at night, 9 o'clock after the kids are in bed? Is it a business professional who has an hour's drive back and forth to work to listen to something or watch something? So you need to kind of evaluate your students' lifestyle as far as what's going to be the best format to present this material to them. Is it better to do auditory or visual, or that drip campaign where it's just in their inbox and they can access it whenever? They don't have to actually keep up with us presenting things live every day or something like that. So all of those things go into the prep work before you're actually creating your course, all right? And I'm going to go through the list again. Cynthia said, I'm looking over here at my comments, guys. Cynthia, welcome. She says, this is encouraging. I'm really focusing on course creation. Okay, great. Do you want to share with us, Cynthia, what kind of courses that you're thinking about creating? We'd love to hear that. Anybody else, Tammy or Betsy, want to share as well? If you've got some ideas there, happy to talk about that. But just to go over again what we talked about tonight, the things that you need to have down before you start actually creating the content. Who are your students? What is their motivation for taking this course? What are their problems? Talk to them. Interview people. Okay, message them. Hey, can I call you for 5 minutes on the phone? I got some questions. I'm doing some research for a course I want to make. Okay, how best can I help you? What are your problems in this area? That kind of thing. If you're allowed to post in Facebook groups, ask the question there. Hey, I'm doing some research for something coming up. Tell me, what's your problems with this? Where are you stuck? That kind of thing. Get their background and experience. What do they already know? And then what kind of, number 4 was what kind of format goes along with that? What kind of format is it going to be the most easy for them to consume this content in? Number 2 was, what do I want them to do? What's the final outcome of this course going to be? Number 3 is, how are we going to measure that? What's the proof? And then number 4, of course, is the format. What kind of tech am I going to need? How am I going to present the content? And is it going to be slides? Is it going to be spoken? Is it going to be audio? Is it going to be pre-recorded? Is it going to be live? All of those things that go into planning that out. Once you have those 4 things down, then you're ready for the course creation masterclass, and we can go into actually helping you break these down and get that course created during that 1 hour or that 1 day intensive masterclass. All right. So from there, then the next steps are going to be looking at your syllabus. They're going to be looking at your sessions. They're going to be looking at the logistics and the tech, and also looking at the marketing aspect of the course. And those are all things that are going to be covered in our course creation masterclass. But you have to be thinking about these things ahead, which is why I felt it was very important to give you those tonight, so that you guys can be thinking on these and get these 4 things down ahead of time, and you'll be so much more successful with the course creation that day once you have these things down in your head on paper, where you can refer to them and make notes and brainstorm all of your ideas for your course as you're getting that together.
Thanks for listening to the For Your Success podcast, brought to you by our membership community for bloggers, theblogconnection.com. If you're listening via audio, please subscribe and review. If you're a YouTube fan, please like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, and share. Every action you take to share what we do helps us to be able to continue giving great value. For show notes and links to the resources mentioned in today's episode, please visit foryoursuccesspodcast.com.